Okay, hey guys. First, I want to say happy Lammas Day. Happy, I'm going to jack this word up. Lanusad? Pretty sure I jacked that word up. Alora and Grizz both were trying to work with me on saying the actual word correctly for all the Irish and Celtic people who, follow the actual tradition. Um, that was my only time I was going to try to say that word. I'm pretty sure I still jacked it up. I'm sorry. But for the purpose of pronunciation junkies out there, I'm going to say Lammas. That's what I'm used to. That's what I can pronounce. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, so first I want to start this video off by saying that I'm not against the church. I know a lot of people that contact me because they know my background from listening here and on a couple other things that I do. And they ask and they're still into the church and everything. I'm not against the church. I'm not. I'm against ignorance. And I understand that a lot of people still go to church because, they really want their fellowship. They really just want to be around other people. That's fine. That's great. This lighting sucks. What the hell's going on? Did the light fall? Okay, well, I guess that's the best it's going to be. But anyway, I'm not against it at all. What I'm against is ignorance. And so what I like to do is find ways that if that's where you decide to be and you're on this new path, find ways where you don't feel like you're in limbo, where you feel like you have to choose. Find ways where you can work both. And the best way to do that is by knowing the truth. So Lammas Day, to really shorten it, is basically, and I'm really shortening it to keep this video short, is basically the celebration of the first fruits, the first wheats, the harvest, the first sign of harvest. It would always, at least from my understanding and my studies, it always coincides with the first new moon in the harvest season. Not August 1st necessarily, not necessarily that day. It's always the first new moon of harvest season, which could be anywhere from, I believe, July 21st to like August, well, not July 21st, that's too, anywhere between the very end of July and like August 6th, 7th, whatever, but always on the first actual new moon of the harvest season. And this kicks off the harvest season. Now, what they used to do, again, this is from my research, what used to be done is they would take corn, and now I'm not going all the way back to the actual beginning. I'm just going back to church times and times of church, not all the way back. But what used to be done was they would give corn and they would give wheat, and they would take a bull, sometimes an older bull, sometimes a younger bull, and they would sacrifice the bull, and everybody would celebrate, eat the bull, and they would give the corn and the wheat as their first fruit offering to the church. Now, of course, this tradition came from the actual Lammas tradition of the Irish Celtic culture, and go research that part. I do a lot of studying, and because I'm mainly centered around the Bible in my studies, I don't want to mess up the actual things of what they did, because my brain right now, I'm pretty sure that if I would even go into it, I would mix it up. So I don't want to go too deep into that part. Go research that part. It's actually a beautiful thing with the walks, the mountaintops, and being on top of the hills with the sun and everything. Okay, but anyway, bring it back. Tend to ramble. Y'all should know that by now. Okay, so as the church was trying to get more people to convert over, what they did was they incorporated Lammas Day into their own celebrations, and they I don't want to say shadowed it. They kind of gave shadow over it. That's better to say it, with saying that this is the day that they're supposed to celebrate Saint Peter, or the Apostle Peter, being freed from prison. Excuse me. So they used that more of a celebration, and of course they still had the big festivals and all the other stuff. So with that being incorporated, now today's the day where they celebrate St. Peter's freedom from prison. Once that became more popular, they separated First Fruits Day and turned First Fruits into the beginning of the Gregorian calendar New Year. And the Gregorian calendar is the calendar that we use now. So the New Year is January 1st. But when you're going according to nature, January 1st is the middle of the winter. It's the middle of the dead season. So what they did was cause the followers to become out of nature while they're still in nature. Now again, I'm not against the church, but I have to state history for everybody to get an understanding and know how to work with this. And I wasn't going to do this video, but I decided I should do this video because if you're still going to be in and out the church or in mass or whatever, this is the time you would give your first fruits, this time. But going back, so what they did was, according to the new year, they said this is the new year, which is the middle of winter, and stated that, you know, everybody knows first of the year you give your first fruits, you give the offering from your first check of the first year. Here's the problem. First fruits is all about the harvest. It's all about your return. So if you're sowing your seed into the middle of the dead, into the middle of the winter season, death is what you will sow, is what you will reap. That's what you get back. This is a lot of reason why the whole thing about making New Year's resolutions is a setup. It's meant to die because you made that resolution and started a resolution in the dead season. You're sowing in the dead season, so you will reap what you sow, which is death. So in saying that, I'm not saying don't go to church, and I'm not saying be against the church. What I'm saying is what I'm saying is how to work with the energy that's there. Instead of it being against you and pulling you into death, you can be there and pull yourself into life. So if you're going to church this week, if you have Bible study for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, usually Bible study. If you have Bible study this week, sow your first fruits this week. If you don't, I know most people by now already got paid. They spent their money, don't get paid till Friday, whatever. Use, consider whatever you tithe Sunday, if you still tithing or whatever, into first fruits. Take that money and sow into somebody else's life. Buy a homeless person a dinner. There's so many ways you can sow into first fruits and to reaping what you sow. Sow into doing good deeds. If you have no money, help somebody else with something. Teach them something. Today is also the festival of Thoth, and Thoth is all about learning, all about storytelling. Tell a story to a child. Read a book to children. Read a book to a friend. Tell a story. Mediate between two people who are not getting along. You could also do that. On top of that, we have the new moon because it's Lammas. The new moon the new moon is in Leo, and Leo's all about the energy of getting things done. I mean, getting it done and going hard at it. So it's the perfect day to do all that. But yeah, like I said, I want to keep this video really short and really simple. The main thing I want people to understand is that again, church is not a bad thing if you do your research and know how to work with the energy that's there. When you go, if you go, if you don't go, then you probably already know and you can research other things that you could do today. But if you do go, this is the time where you will sow your first fruit offering. Not the first of the year, not the middle of the dead season. That's sowing into death. This is when you're sowing into your harvest and you're supposed to be reaping back what you sow. So you're giving an offering basically for everything that you've done in the spring. And you're continuing that life to come so that you will be fed and replenished throughout the winter season. I'm going to shut it down right there. I hope, if anything, it stirs your brain to start looking up and researching and all things like that. So everybody stay blessed. Peace.